what's up? This is RJ Sheetal, Bangalore Cafe on Fever 104 FM. It's Valentine's Day and I have some really special people right here in my studio. I'm going to tell you a little about them. They're digital content creators. They love to travel and they love food. So that's why I had to invite them to my show especially. Let's welcome Vivek and Rachna. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hi, welcome to Fever 104 FM.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting us.
Anytime. I want to start off by asking you, your Insta handle is The Food Quest, right? So how did that come up? How did you guys come up with that name?
So I have always been a foodie. So Food Quest is something that came out of my experience in food. So I work in sales.
Okay.
So since sales is my profession, I got a chance to travel across the state.
Okay.
So wherever I traveled, I had a specific set of restaurants or places or eateries where I would try food for.
Okay.
So that kind of became a to-do list for a lot of my friends. So over time, I wanted to take it to a wider audience, and
Right.
I think that is when Instagram as a platform gave us this chance.
Okay.
And that's when Food Quest India came into existence.
Okay.
And in December 2020,
Oh, you started in December 2020?
no, I started this in probably it's almost 4+ years now.
Okay.
And that was an era when it was photography and not
Yeah, no
much of-
reels and no videos.
reels. Yes, it was more of writing, more of your writing skills, and a little bit of photography involved.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And from there on, when the lockdown kicked in, that's when I think reels suddenly got into
Picked up,
trend.
right.
So my entire concept or the purpose of this page was to give a shout out to all those small businesses which did not have the appetite to get into the larger media platforms.
Right.
So that's how it started. And then with reels, with Instagram giving a lot of push to reels and everything, it was going in one pace, and that's when I met Rachna and we married. We got married in 2020
Oh,
December.
that's so sweet. I'm glad I selected them because it's Valentine's Day special, right? And I'm gonna get to that as well, how you guys met and all of that. But you can continue.
Yeah. So like I said, with my parents being very avid foodies themselves,
Right.
so with them also we would always go out very regularly, and I wanted to showcase. I wanted a platform to showcase that.
Right.
And Instagram was the right fit for me, with Instagram also in that growth stage.
Right.
So with reels, with Instagram, with my experience on food, with my palate having specific preferences for food, that's how everything started.
Okay.
And probably I think I remember sometime in 2017 I had some 100 followers on Instagram. To today I have like 100,000 followers.
I know, that's crazy, right?
It's been a crazy ups and downs with,
Right.
with a lot of things happening because we have our full-time job and everything together.
Yeah. Talk to me about that. How do you guys manage a full-time job and content creation? Because I've seen so many influencers take content creation as their full-time job, right?
Correct.
So you guys are doing two things at the same time. So how difficult or easy it is for you?
For us, I believe both of those professions are equally important. We are passionate about what we do as profession and also the Instagramming part of
Right.
it. He's passionate about food, so am I. I'm passionate about traveling, so is he. So our content is a
Mix of both.
Yeah, so we manage on weekends or say after our work hours in the evening, or say we get some lean time in afternoon, so we
Right.
step out during that time. And also I believe huge credit goes to our family who's been supporting us.
Support you? Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Yes, we live with Vivek's mom and brother.
Oh,
They
okay.
have been our support system, to be very honest. I don't think without them we would be able to pull off.
I think without them we would not be able to try out so much of food as well. Right?
Right.
They also are a part of our
Right.
jury members, you can call them. So that's how it's working.
That's amazing. So you say that you're doing this full-time job, and did you ever think that you want to take up content creation as a full-time thing and leave your existing jobs? Has that ever come to your mind?
That always has been there
Yeah.
to take up content creation as a full-time
Full-time
thing.
thing.
But then we are more focused on creating a social impact rather than
correct.
the the commercial aspect of it. So-
Not like a profession kind of a thing, right?
Correct.
You
That
want to
is-
bring out the food, the vibe
Correct.
to the people.
Correct.
This is more of a passion than anything that has to do with monetary
Benefits
Right.
attached to it, right? But there are monetary benefits attached now
Yes,
that you're growing so well. No?
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you that we've seen lifestyle influencers, fashion influencers, they earn a lot because the reach is different, the audience is different, right? But as a food influencer, do you think you guys can make that much money that a fashion influencer can? Are
Maybe.
there, can you, is the market reach that level?
Depends. If you're on Instagram, I would say not so much.
Right.
You know, the commercials that you get
Right.
for branded content is very limited, irrespective of what reach you have
Right.
or what is the community size you have. It could be 1 lakh, 2 lakh followers. Still, the I believe more the entire food blogging space is more from passion.
Passion, right?
So
Yeah.
that is
It's a passionate thing because we had another Bangalore Epicure, if you know him.
correct. Yes.
So he had come for the season 2 of Creator Collab, and I asked him the same thing because I was curious to understand from a food blogger's perspective, and he also said the same thing that when it's food blogging, you don't do it for money. You do it for that experience, the thing that you want to give to the audience, right?
Correct.
And even he's like, I would never want to take this as a full-time job,
Correct.
right? I do it as a passion, and I will still continue to do it because he also mentioned that somewhere down the line you can get stagnant.
Correct.
Do you feel the same?
It is not about getting stagnant. Like I said, we want to be in the food industry and create a huge social impact,
Right.
at least from the food business perspective. So something that I do should impact the lives of a lot of people in this industry. That's what we are looking at. Money should always be a byproduct of your effort. That is something that I have been believing from a very long time. Like, but to take food blogging in particular as a profession, I don't know how much of a mileage that would give to you.
Yeah.
For now, there is a fad among people.
Correct.
That fad might go away
down,
and something else might pick up in the future.
Yeah. Even this food thing, I think it's in recent times
Correct.
it's just blown up,
Correct.
right? We've seen fashion, it's been there from a
Correct.
long time, but food blogging, everyone's doing it.
I
Like
think
top
it has
five
to
restaurants.
do with the lockdown. During
Yeah.
lockdown, everybody became chefs at
Yeah.
home, wanted to explore food
Correct.
outside where you
Right.
couldn't go.
Couldn't go,
I think
yeah.
the boom was during that time.
During the lockdown,
Correct.
right? And how effective was lockdown for you guys?
So during lockdown, I think we weren't married yet. I hadn't even met her.
Lockdown
when the
one.
lockdown started.
Oh, lockdown
the
one,
first
yeah,
lockdown. So that's when my mother and we wanted to do something very unique on the photography space of Instagram. So I wanted to show out recipes of say 10-15 different types of dosas that you can make. That gave me like an exponential reach. All of a sudden people were sitting at home, they wanted to try out a lot of
experiment and all of that.
recipes and everything. That's when I got that push.
Right.
And then on, after dosa, there was some rice ka series that started on my page.
Okay.
So my mom used to cook. I think she made around 15 different varieties
wow.
of food from across the country. So we dug down to a lot of recipes.
Right.
Because the supply of materials was also very limited.
Very limited,
Ingredients.
yeah.
So we had to be careful with that also. So with keeping all those things in view, we did a 15 dishes ka thing on the page, and that gave me the next thrust.
Right.
So. And I think that has been the journey on Instagram as a platform.
Right.
But social media as a whole, we still are not even at a % there. We want to experiment in a lot of other platforms.
Have you ever thought of venturing into YouTube?
We
We
are
do
there.
have
We
a
are.
page.
But not so regular, I guess, right?
We don't have a timetable set for it yet
Yes.
because of the full-time jobs that we
Right,
have. YouTube
right.
is a longer
Long
duration
format.
game.
It's more work also, right?
More,
For
too much
us
of a work.
to shoot, it's easy. Probably to go explore, vlog,
yeah.
it's easy. To edit, we need a lot of time.
That's
In
right.
fact, I think last travel that we did, we thought we will cover around 7-8 cities in Karnataka
Okay.
and do a consolidated vlog of every city and bring up. I have around 50 videos shot for YouTube, but I haven't even opened those.
Edit,
It's
yeah.
been almost a year
Yeah,
now.
we must have
It's been a year.
Yeah, we must have uploaded 4 or 5.
Probably 4 or
and-
5 of them, and then that's
Yeah.
how it is.
But that's how it is, right? Though the audience right now is looking at shorts and reels and all of that, but there are a few people who still love long format videos,
Correct.
right?
Absolutely.
Just to binge watch while having lunch, dinner,
Correct.
and all of that.
I mean, there are finer aspects to it, like the way you show food, right?
Yes,
that
correct.
should be
The
so
experience.
appetizing. Yes,
Correct.
yes. So that also we want to concentrate, and all those things are still
Yeah.
there. But in food is
In good times, yeah.
in good times.
Talk to me about how did you guys meet?
Typical arranged marriage,
Oh,
you
okay.
have to
Okay,
say.
it doesn't look like just I thought it was a love marriage, but
No, I think it was a modern arranged marriage, I would have to say. Parents spoke, horoscope matched, and our numbers were exchanged.
Okay.
We first met when we were okay. Families were involved, even they were okay.
So
and
we met at that time where we had an evening lockdown.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Right at 9 o'clock,
Yeah, yeah.
everything. So we were supposed to go back. So
Right.
we had that limited time where we had to go rush, meet each other, and then go back.
Where was the first time you guys met?
In Rajajinagar.
Rajajinagar, we met near Vidyavardhaka school. That's where we parked our vehicles, and then we went to Orient Mall.
Yeah, we just walked around. It started raining, so we went to Orient Mall. And then we had that 9 p.m. curfew, so we had to head back.
And then you got married after like how
3-4 months.
We met in July sometime, and we got married in December.
In December, is it? And when did you change your the Food Quest? It was there from
Food Quest was there from 5 years almost.
Okay.
But then after, so she is not too much passionate about food. She likes travel a lot.
Okay.
So
it's food and travel.
Yes, yes.
What was the first question that you asked her when you met? Like, do you like food?
No.
That's a crazy question. I mean, probably she will have to answer.
He asked me, how long do I take to get ready?
Are you serious?
That was the first question that.
And turns out I get ready faster than...
It's always like that. Trust me, men take so much time to get ready.
No, that is why I asked that question, right? I take a lot of time. I want that equation to be balanced. So she has to be quick so that I can take more time. So that was the first question I asked.
And what is the first question you asked him?
I don't
I think this question has taken over all the other questions. So,
mine would be, how long do you take?
Probably counter question. Yeah.
That's how it has been.
That's amazing. And you got into the journey immediately after marriage?
Actually, from before wedding, I would say. When we met,
nice.
First meet was with family in... Then the next meet was with the blogger gang. We had to do some sort
I wanted her to meet my blogger community friends so that she could understand what's in store and all that. So we went to Mysore for a day's trip, and I think we hogged at around 25 places, and she was like, what
that
is
was a shocker for me. Like, how can one person eat so much? And then going along, and I think the community itself is very positive. The entire blogging, food blogging.
Especially food blogging. I can't vouch for the other lifestyle and fashion, but food blogging community, I swear, they're very nice,
very welcoming. Everybody, whoever doesn't even know me, if I meet them for the first time, they're very welcoming. To be very honest, even when we are traveling, there are a lot of people from that particular town. They're open to come and meet us and go along with us. And even if we meet Bangalore bloggers outside, it's a different experience.
Right.
In fact, we met one of Bangalore bloggers. I mean, an unplanned meet. We were in Rishikesh last month.
Yeah.
So we found out that one more blogger was there. We met him. I think she went for what is that?
Rafting
with him.
Oh, wonderful.
I am very scared of all those things. Anything other than food, I am scared. So
are you scared of her as well?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. So we had rafting. We did bungee jumping. I mean, she did bungee jumping.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And all that. So that part of the channel, if I have to widen it from food to something else, I have
has to be her, right? Absolutely.
So that's how this is going on now.
That's amazing. And you tell me something that as a couple, so usually they say that you don't do business with your family members, you don't work with them because monetary aspects are involved, and then you can have a difference of opinion and all of that, right? But as a couple, to work in the content creation industry, how does that feel?
I think money has not been a major thing at all till now.
Right.
Everything has been, I think we have spent lakhs together in this from our pockets. Right? So money has never been a thing. And I think when it comes to supporting each other also, there is nothing. I mean, it's a mutually already agreed thought process. Anything that I want to do, there is a yes from that side, and anything that she wants to do, there is a
that's really
ready-made yes from my side as well. That's how it is.
Also on the brainstorming aspect, if you're one content creator, you have to do all the work.
Right.
Then it's two minds are
better than one. Yeah.
There's a lot of work distribution that happens. Like we can shoot together and all that also.
Creatively also we are very different. So it brings in a lot of change and newer aspects to the videos.
Yeah. Perceptions also are different, right? So it brings in more creativity in that format. Yeah. But has there been any time that you felt like, maybe we shouldn't have done things together? Just being honest, because I know it's Valentine's Day and everything is lovey-dovey, but just wanted to
we haven't ever felt that, because I think on what her forte is, I have zero knowledge about it.
Right.
Like when it comes to travel, she is my guide. So she has the
tour guide is ready.
Yes, tour guide is ready for me. When it comes to food, she is open to experiment because she has not tried as much food as I have done. So she's still that curious and she wants to know more about food as well.
Right.
So that curiosity keeps both of us going. With respect to travel, I have very less knowledge because if I've traveled anywhere, that's only for food and nothing else.
Yeah.
So for her, travel is only travel. She has not done anything related
experience,
to food.
nothing related to food. Yeah.
And food is a part of the experience,
but not like you go only for the food,
yeah,
right?
here I am introduced to travel for food. Earlier it was travel and food is
a part of it.
Yeah. So it's a different.
But it's a good balance. Right?
Yeah,
It's a good
and
balance.
even in the travel, even when we say it's travel for food, the places are new. You cannot just say I'm just exploring food. There is so much. You meet so many new people, which is the entire experience, which even I used to travel for.
Right.
But yeah, from his food experience or the way he explores or the way he explains, there's a lot of difference that I see from others to him.
Yeah.
And together we have, I feel there is a spark definitely where something comes out great when we are there, when it's two of us, it's easier. If he's in front of the camera, it's easier for me to capture him, and vice versa. Even with editing, we can help out, and two hands, I feel, is always better.
Yeah. Like, that's how you clap, right? That's so amazing. It's so nice to see, a couple influencer talk about all of this, because sometimes, what happens on the internet, everything is so dreamy and rosy that you don't know what you can believe, right?
True.
You see that so many people start sending you hate because maybe they are not getting that. So have you ever received any hate? I don't think so, but just
hate is a part and parcel of Instagramming. I know because other social media platforms I'm not very strong in.
Right.
In Instagramming, hate is it's a part and parcel of every thing
how good or how bad you are doesn't matter. Hate is always there.
And I am a little I'm short-tempered, and I lose it and I give back to them on the platform itself. Yeah. But she is very calm. She
I laugh at it. And there are times, I don't know, for our page the hate comments come only in the night, and I sleep off.
That's weird.
Or we see it in the night or whatever it is. So I'm fast asleep. Next morning I see a lot of conversation between him and the person who commented, and finally so many times it has so happened that they have commented and then it has gone into DMs and they have had a healthy conversation and they have become friends.
We've become friends with people as well. We've got a lot of friends like that as well.
That's so weird. Like, I've never heard this happen,
They will have not everybody comments for the sake of it. They would have an opinion, but the way they put that opinion up would be probably a little more harsh or derogative.
Right.
But then when you're talking to them, there is some commonality that you reach, and once that is achieved, then it's a smooth conversation with them. I've had a lot of people. The basic thing is dosa versus dosa. That's a never-ending conversation.
Especially for food blogger, it's a never-ending debate.
So that debate mein to I ensure that I agree that dosa is something that is close to
So what
heart.
is the answer? Dosa.
Dosa.
It's regional. You are in Karnataka, you can say dosa. If you're in any part of South India, you might call it dosa.
But then for us, dosa is what?
At home we call it dosa.
When we go out, dosa, right? Like masala dosa.
For us it is masala dosa.
We might get hate comments on this video also.
But then dosa is what we love it to be called as. But then that's one conversation that I remembered randomly.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of friends like that on Instagram from my followers.
But that's really amazing, because I've seen content creators say that we just ignore it or we block them and we sometimes reply back and stuff like that. But to turn them into a friendship, it's really amazing. But why do you think these people behind a keyboard, they try to send hate? Where does that come from?
I think everybody is an opinion
leader now.
Right.
Like, you tell something, you are putting it out on the on social media. I can be anybody. I can give out my opinion.
Right.
And I believe as content creators, everybody should not only be open to positive criticism.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
Right.
You're supposed to get negative comments.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna like the content or like you guys and all of that.
And it's all subject, especially when it comes to food. Taste is very subjective. What we like, somebody else might not like, and what they like, we might not like. So there's always going to be a difference of opinion.
Absolutely.
I think that's where there has to be what to call that?
A criteria.
A criteria set which will help people to define themselves. Like, say if I'm specializing in a particular cuisine, for example, if I know the nitty-gritties of that cuisine, or if there is a platform that gives me that knowledge, and then I gain that knowledge and then write about it, I will have more credibility. And so is it with the content consumer as well.
Consumer, right.
So the consumer also should have that understanding about why a certain person is writing about it. So this is where food blogger differentiates himself from a content creator. Content creator just writes for the sake of it. Food blogger understands the food better and gives his opinion on food based on his experience.
Absolutely.
So
that's the borderline difference.
That's the borderline
right?
difference.
Absolutely. And in fact, I feel that food blogging is a lot more difficult than fashion and lifestyle and all of that, because see, fashion you can describe.
Correct.
Food, how do you describe taste?
I know.
And
It's
also
so
with
difficult, right?
fashion, you are in front of the camera, you
You're
wear those
showcasing
things.
it.
You can't
Yeah.
do that when it comes to food. And
Yeah.
what you see in person versus how it is portrayed in the camera is
It's
entirely
so
different.
different. Yeah, and even when you taste it and like, wow. But what more do you say?
Yeah, what do you say?
So I'm sure it must be getting very tricky, right? But how was the journey, like initially, how when you started making reels to now how you're making it? Do you see there's a lot of growth and a lot of difference in your creativity, your perception?
Yeah, absolutely. When Reels started, I think there was no concept of voiceovers. There was no concept of I call myself as the first or the second gen of Instagramming. Probably Naveen Suresh and the gang might be the first gen. We belong to the second gen. We are very camera shy.
Right.
We never wanted to be in front of the camera while I'm talking about food.
Okay.
I would want to write more about it.
Right.
But then came a wave with reels trending and everything where people started showcasing themselves, and then I think that is when we also gained confidence, and that transition happened where we started describing food, and writing will give you the reading experience. When you're telling that, the experience of the listener will go one notch up.
Right.
So I think that transition has happened among us also.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, and you know what? I've seen when you said dosa thing, right? I've seen another debate like when food bloggers say that this is the best gobi Manchurian you've ever eaten. People in the comments say, how can you say it's the best? I have tasted something which is much better than this.
I totally agree with this. There can't be anything that is the best. Right?
Best, yeah.
The best is never possible in food.
The best it's for you.
Correct. It's subjective.
It's subjective, right? But as consumers, I don't think we understand that.
Correct.
We'll be like, oh, this amazing food blogger has said it's the best, then probably it's the best, let's go try it. And if we don't like it, then be like, oh, there was this
Also,
line.
the experience differs. Probably at the time I went and tried it, the experience I had could be great. Probably at the time you went, it
Chef
was too crowded or
chef
chef
has changed.
See, food, the preparation of food, right? That is from your heart, right? When you're angry and you're preparing food, you can see the difference in the taste of it.
Yeah.
Right? The chef might have had a bad day at home. He might have had a very bad day at work. That will trickle down to the food that he has made.
Even like our mom's maa ke haath ka khana also, when she's angry it tastes different, but when she's in happy mood it tastes amazing, right? It's as simple as that.
And to call something the best food available, I don't think that's the right phrase to be used, because when you call something the best, at least you should have tried 3 things, because best is a superlative. For something to be superlative, the positive and the comparative degrees have to be first ticked. That if I'm calling a dosa the best dosa, you please tell me the 10 other dosas which you tried. Then you give this verdict.
Right.
And then you give me why that is the best
dosa. Yeah.
That would make you, I mean, that is what you're supposed to be doing.
We can at least approve that, okay, you're saying best because you've tried so much. I agree with that.
Exactly.
But nowadays you see that like anybody just wakes up and tries to be a content creator, right?
True.
Because internet is free, they have good phones nowadays, right? What do you think about that?
It is in a way good, right? I mean, the especially the present generation of content creators who are coming in, they have a lot of exposure. I mean, going ahead 2-3 years down the line with this experience and exposure, I'm sure they would be able to do something better than what is presently happening in this entire space.
Right.
And
but don't you think there's too much competition now?
Competition is always good. That will only filter out the unwanted weeds, and only the best will always remain. That's always. I always believe that competition has to be there, and only then the best will survive. The remaining will.
It's actually good to see, somebody who comes with 10-15 years of blogging experience is competing with somebody who's 10-15 days old. So you can never, in corporate world probably you have this thing that I come with this much experience. You cannot have that.
Your baggage doesn't matter here.
Absolutely. And also it's also like, someone who's been doing this for 10 years might just have 100k followers, but someone who just started
Correct.
might have like 200k, 300k,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct.
Because in the algorithm is like that. You can
Correct.
never predict who's gonna grow when.
True.
Right?
And you'll not know who connects with whom. Probably
Right.
what I am saying you might connect with, but nobody else could.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Somebody who is putting out some content where a larger audience is liking it.
Liking it, yeah, absolutely.
I think ultimately this will benefit the businesses in the
Correct.
I
medium
agree.
run. Whatever it is, you are giving that reach to somebody who
Yeah.
the traditional media was not
Especially
doing.
small businesses, I
Small
feel.
businesses,
You know,
absolutely.
I've seen all of these Uttar Karnataka
Correct.
home, like food
Correct.
places, and
Correct.
and ladies who make food at home and send it
Correct.
out, right?
Yes.
I think it's such a nice advantage for all of them. They might not have that reach or anything, but as food bloggers, you guys do so much, and I think that's wonderful. Fever.